Peace, family. Peace. So, I've been hearing a lot of talk about the victor or victim mentality, and I just thought I'd give my take on what I think it is to be either a victor or a victim in context. Run from your wife was good, bro. In the context of what it is to be a victor or a victim. I've been hearing a lot of stuff about whether or not black people are going to have a victim or victor mentality. So, here's my take. It is no secret as to how and why black people are in the social economic condition that they are in. It's no secret. You have colonization, you have slavery, and you have economic sanctions. Son Raw, what's good? You have economic sanctions that have put black people in the situation that they are in. That's no secret, okay? That is design. However, just because something has been designed for you, it doesn't mean you must adhere to that design. Now, people have been speaking about history, and I've always said history matters. History is the reason I am sitting in this car speaking to you, because history is me waking up this morning, which is history, brushing my teeth, showering, coming here and speaking. So history is relevant, okay? History is the reason you are currently in your present condition. However, you now in your present have a decision to make about your future. You have that decision to make about your future. Now, are you going to decide to stay in your present situation, or are you going to look to the future? Using an African philosophy called Sankofa, myself. So Sankofa means go back and fetch it, which means we can translate, we can say, use the past to now design a new future. A lot of black people talk about the greatness of black civilizations, which they were great. But it's now our job as black people to build the 2.0 version of what black civilization whatever black civilization you want to talk about is great. People, 70 people up in there, 5 likes. Come on, like the thing, like, share, subscribe, all of you. So it's now incumbent upon us as black people to design our own future, and that happens in here. That happens right up here. What are you now going to do in your present condition? And I said, I'm not negating the past for us being in the social condition that we are. But what are we going to do now? Okay, that is a question. I want to build, as I would say, build your own Wakanda. Okay, build your own Wakanda. And with that, you need a mindset in the present to understand that you want to, or you are going to, build something great for yourself. This is why I always speak to black people, okay? I say, listen, we understand our history. We understand why we are here. We cannot stay in our history. Otherwise, we won't build the things that we want to build within our future. It won't happen. It will not happen. Okay, we need to have a mindset in the present to build a very cohesive, great, and functionable society for ourselves. Okay, because currently we don't have that. Let's be honest. Now, we don't have that, like I said, because of the past and our relationship to it. We are now in the present, but our present does not have to be our future. It doesn't have to be. So What I think is being misconstrued here, in my own personal opinion, is that people are saying, oh, you guys are staying in the past, get over it, blah, 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 blah. However, Jewish people having the past that they've had, right, have said, have a slogan, never again. That's what they have. Their slogan is never again. Okay? So never again means we now get a mentality that this can never, ever, ever happen to us again. Ever. So what do we do? What do we do right now to make this never, ever, ever happen again? Or never forget, which is a slogan. Sorry, Siobhan. Never forget. If we never forget, or if we do forget our history, we are deemed to repeat it again. However, we know the reason for our present. We know the reason for our present. But what we gonna do, family? You know? But however, so there's a double-edged sword here. However, a lot of people, not all, but a lot of people need to speak about the history, speak about the past. If you look at it like a rape victim, telling a rape victim to get over rape is not the way for a rape victim to get over rape. It's not, okay? That rape victim may need to speak about stuff. They're gonna wanna, you know, go over stuff to really get it out of their system before they can actually move on. Because some people, some rape victims are psychologically damaged from what happened to them, okay? So you cannot ask a people to get over something and think that is the solution. No, people sometimes need to speak about it, go through it. However, staying there is the problem. Staying within the rape in your mind will not make you move forward as a rape victim. There are rape victims out there that have said, you know what, I have been raped and I am no longer going to allow this rape to define me. What I'm going to do is I'm going to say, you know what, I am going to do better for myself. Because there are a lot of rape victims walking around with heavy hearts, heavy minds, and a lot of psychological issues. There are a lot, because they haven't had the time to go through and go past. They keep living in the past of what happened to them, and their past is now their present. However, it's needed, okay? It is needed to get, quote unquote, get over it, to speak about it, go through it, and then go forward. What tends to happen a lot of the time, not most, but a lot of the time, is when people tend to speak about the past of the black people, people shut them down and say, don't speak about it, get over it, shut up, doesn't matter, move on, blah, 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 blah. And I'm saying, listen, seriously, if we're going to be mature about it, we should be able to speak about it without people getting, well, I say we should be able to without people getting emotional, but people are going to get emotional. They are. We need to be able to speak about it, Titans, but don't speak about it to the point where, don't do that. Because like you said, if you're going to be a quote-unquote victor, okay, if you're going to be a quote-unquote victor, you are going to need to come up with ways in which to deal with the thing that, or the trauma that you've gone through, so you can now go forward. You have to come up with a reason, or you have to come up with a solution. It has to be done. That's why I speak to black people, because I'm saying, listen, I know why we're here. We know why we're here, but are we going to stay here? Are we going to stay here? I don't want to stay here. Shit, I want to move. I want to build some Wakanda shit again. That's what I want. What do you want to do? I know what I want to do. What do you want to do? Okay, and so I don't like this whole conflict that black people have within the whole community, saying, oh, some people need to just get over it, and they'll say, no, you're not listening, and you need to listen to our past, and all this kind of, both sides are relevant. Understand this, both sides are relevant. Okay, for me to be a victor, yeah, is to really get into the psychology, of our people, okay? And we need to have this conversation amongst ourselves. We need to have the conversation among ourselves, okay? And understand that we need to move into Wakanda 2.0. Okay, that's what we need to do. We need to move into Wakanda 2.0. But if we're going to do that, okay, if we're going to do that, we are going to need to come up with ways in which to, okay, move forward from always talking about slavery, colonization. And let's not get this twisted. There are still designs, the designs are still there. We know the designs are there. World Bank system, monetary system, debt that Africa is has incurred, all of that. Now we know that to be true. We know. So now, what are we going to do about it? That's the question. What are we going to do about it? So what it is not battling, always talking about the past, or you don't talk about it enough. It's about us coming together and understanding that both sides have points, and now we need to build Wakanda 2.0. Wakanda 2.0, black people. Okay, someone just said Black Wall Street 100 years ago. Yeah, it was, you see. And with that was a different psychology, Black Wall Street. So you have to understand, you just came out of slavery, not to build Black Wall Street in America, right? So that had to be born out of a psychology. Black Wall Street. It was. Like I said, there's still systems. Yo, are we live again? Are we live again? Give me a thumbs up, family, if we're live. We're back. Okay. These gremlins, man. I'm telling you, man, these gremlins. I'm sick of conspiracy theories now. Like, it's just crazy. It's just crazy right now. I'm not gonna lie. Every single time, no matter where I am, every single time. Okay. Okay. But yeah, where was I? Understanding that both sides are needed. Understanding that to build a Wakanda 2.0, you are going to need to have a different mentality. That's about using your oh my God. We live again? We live again. We live again. We live again. Fam, it's crazy out there, man. It's crazy. Can you hear me, family? Can you hear me? I said bacon, that's random. I never have this problem at home, because at home, I'm on my laptop. That's why I'm on my laptop at home. However, out here in these streets, it'll go crazy. But anyway, as I was saying, understanding that we need to work together, separating ourselves from, like, I don't do this whole, oh, we're bougie, we're the high class, and you know, you're the lower class because you're ghetto. And all that. I don't do that. I don't do that shit. But yeah, what I said, I was on Callum's show the other day, and there was a very poignant thing that he said about having your genesis start from slavery. And we are told as black people a lot that we started out as victims, let's say. Like, we started in slavery, and you know, slavery. Like, it's like, you know, like I said, if we understand our history, we understand that before slavery, we were doing really good things. You know, we can name civilization after civilization before we were enslaved by the Arab or the European. We can name these things, okay? So slavery isn't where we started. Slavery isn't where we began, okay? And I was actually saying that when you become part of a system or a religious, let's say a religious program that is not of your own, okay? You talk to a black Muslim and they will talk to you about Bilal. Okay, and Bilal, they say, oh yeah, Bilal was he was a black slave, and you know, he was the first call to prayer. And I said before, I was like, so you're telling me he was a good nigger for Muhammad? Do you know what I mean? It's like, what? So he was a good slave? Like, I don't buy into that. Like, so what? I don't care about Bilal. Do you know what I mean? Like, we were before Bilal was even born, and that message came around of Islam and the Quran. We were doing stuff. So don't talk to me about Bilal. I came before Bilal. And it's like, you know, you talk to me about slavery and we were this and we were that. It's like, listen, we weren't waiting around, like, you know, we weren't waiting around a campfire, okay? We weren't waiting around a campfire for like Europeans and Arabs to turn up. We weren't just chilling around a campfire like, what we gonna do now, guys? What we gonna do? Oh, there's some Europeans, some Arabs. Let's get them to tell us what to do. No, that's not what was going on. We were doing our own stuff, and so what we kind of need to understand is when the people conquer you, right? When the people actually conquer you, they give you their value system, they give you their religion, they give you their psychology. Okay, and the best colonization of a people is the colonization of psychology. It's a colonization of the mind, which is the best one. Forget land, okay? Forget land. If I've got your psychology, I will get you to do what the hell I want you to do. Okay? If I've got your mind, you can have everyone's seen the experiment with an elephant, right? Where an elephant, if it used its brain, okay, it could mow down any human being. Okay, but you've got elephants in the circus and they tie a string, just a normal string, to the elephant's foot and just tie it to a door. And the elephant knows in its mind, don't move, right? It knows in its mind, don't move. And so it's like, but you're an elephant. This is only a string. You could just pop that string and go. But because of the mind is gone, because the mind is colonized, you know, now I can get to do what I want. I can make you believe what I want you to believe. Okay, and so what we have here is when we take on psychologies and we take on religions and stuff of people who were not us, we now adopt their psychology and we adopt their ways, their value systems, and all this kind of stuff. And so you can't get me to be a Christian, you can't get me to be a Muslim, and you can't get me to follow the Bible, you can't get me to follow the Quran. So anyone trying to get me to follow it, I will not do it. Okay, because that is a psychological book. That book keeps you in a space, okay, pinned down to a certain group of people at a certain time. And I've said this so many times before, the psychology, okay, of those books is really crazy. Like I said, genetically, scientifically, black people are the first people on the planet. But both these books say, in the beginning there was. And it's like, okay, in the beginning, cool, let's hear about your beginning. And you don't mention black people, you do not mention Africa, you don't. And I'm like, hang on a minute, you just spoke to me about the beginning of humanity, yet you chose to edit out the actual beginning of humanity. Really? Like, that's how I know your book is bogus. From the jump, from the get-go, I know your book is bogus. Because you didn't even talk about the beginning. Because really and truly, you don't know it. It's just a people's example of what they think is a beginning. It's really their beginning, really. You know, that book is what? If we go back to the oldest Bible, we can go back what? 1,000 years BC, maybe? That's how old that story is. And I said, which book? The Bible, Ezra, you know. Ezra's speaking in the chat now. Our beginning was before the Bible. Before the Bible said in the beginning, people were actually doing stuff. Like, this is what people fail to realize. Before the Quran says, oh, in the beginning, it's like, no, people were actually doing stuff, bro. Like, they weren't waiting for this book to open up and say, oh, so that's what happened in the beginning. Oh, yeah, that's what happened. No, people were actually doing stuff. They were actually doing stuff before those books came about. So you can't use that book, yeah, and tell me that that book is going to tell me the story of humanity, it's silly. It's just dumb. Like, if you're that simple-minded to think that this book that only came, what, 3,000 years ago can tell you the history of humanity or the history of how human beings came to be, it's dumb. Like, we've got, like, science can tell you a better story or a more accurate one. Okay, some people don't want to go with the evolution theory, some people do. But however, yeah, it can tell you a little bit more of an accurate story than any of these books. These books don't tell you the beginning of how human beings came to be. They say we were bloody created from dust and there was a talking snake and all this kind of stuff. And you're like, all right, mate, like, come on. Can we, like, get to some actual facts and get to some stuff that actually makes sense? You know? But believing in that stuff, like literally believing in that stuff, like I said, I was gonna do a talk with the Hebrew Israelites, right? And believing it, I've heard Hebrew Israelites say, oh, we are in this condition because we disobeyed God. We are in this position because we disobeyed God. Now, one, you can't prove God, but two, you're saying you are telling yourself you deserve to be in this position basically because you disobeyed God. If that's not a victim's mentality, I don't know what is. I don't know what is. You're telling yourself that you deserve to be in this position by saying, you know what, maybe we should have obeyed God. What are you talking about? You are now a victim. You are now choosing to be a victim. You are now choosing to stay within a psychology that says, okay, I deserve to be here. Even though I'm at the bottom of the socio-economic ladder, I deserve to be here. Because I turned away from God, because I turned away from Allah, and everybody else that turns away is a heathen or a pagan or a this or a that. And I'm saying that kind of psychology, you have two. I think the Greeks called it paradise lost and paradise inherited. I think that's what they called it. Don't quote me, but I think so. You have people who have the paradise lost psychology, okay, and which means they lost paradise, right? And they are trying to now get paradise back, i.e. heaven, okay? So heaven is the paradise lost psychology. So we lost paradise, guys, because we were in it. We were with God and we were doing all this stuff and God loved us and then we lost it. So we got to get it back, paradise lost. Then you have people who have a psychology of paradise inherited, okay? And those people are the people that were born into paradise. So you think about it. In the lowlands or the highlands of Africa or South America, and you're born and you literally have waterfalls, jungle, sea, animals. You're literally in paradise. You're born into it. So the psychology of what God was, of what God is not the same psychology, because you're like, I'm in paradise, bro. I'm in heaven. What are you talking about? I haven't lost heaven. I'm literally in heaven. And so you have two people who have two different psychologies coming together. Okay, and the paradise lost people are saying, no, this isn't paradise, bro. This isn't paradise. We're gonna get it. And other people are like, they're looking around like, bro, do you see the trees? Do you see the waterfall? Do you see the animals? Do you see the berries? Do you see everything? We're actually in paradise. What are you talking about? We're in it. And so we have two totally different psychologies. It all starts up here. One is a victor and one is a victim. One is a victor and one is a victim. And I'm not being that victim anymore. I understand that the world is beautiful. The world is beautiful. It is a concrete jungle sometimes, but it's actually beautiful. Okay? So you can leave your wherever and go and find a beautiful part of the world. There are places on this planet that are absolutely beautiful. You're going to tell me this is a bad place. We need to get heaven. What are you talking about? When I'm chilling on the beach with a rum punch in my hand and the sun shining on me and I've got my family and friends around me, that's heaven. Don't talk to me about anything else. That's heaven. Okay? So, you can't talk to me about paradise lost, bro. You can't talk to me about paradise lost. And I'm not being a victim of that mentality. So, there are a lot of people out there, and I like to talk to black people specifically, but people generally. But black people, a lot of us have this, a lot of us are in this mentality. We were waiting on paradise. We're waiting on somebody to save us. I mean, come on, let's be honest. We're waiting on somebody to come out of the sky to save us. Literally, a lot of us are. A lot of us are waiting on some guy to come out of the sky. Like, if that's not a victim, like, save your fucking self, you know? Save yourself. We ain't no guy. When's the last time a guy came out the sky to save anyone? Unless you're watching a Hollywood movie like Superman, like just, you know, came out the sky. When's the last time you saw that? But you're a grown adult. You're a grown adult, and you believe that. You believe that someone's gonna come out of the sky. Like, how can I speak to you and have a rational conversation when you actually think somebody's gonna come out the sky? We have more chance of bloody aliens coming out the sky, more chance than this Jesus dude, you know? And so when you wait on somebody to save you, you are a victim. You are a victim when you wait for somebody to save you, okay? Save yourself. Let's save ourselves. Let's save ourselves, family. So yeah, I haven't got much. So I've got like 5 minutes left. So let's see what the chat's saying. Bring this to Google Hangouts. Okay. I'm at work at the moment, fam. Okay, no, the revolution stuff. They're waiting for Captain Saberhole. Oh, God. Sarah, how important do you think it is to be attached to a race that you happen to be born into, and why? Oh, we've paused. Have we paused? Are we still alive? Are we still live? Or are we not alive? I actually can't see. I can see the chat, but I can't see that I'm actually still live. I'm still live. Okay, well, I can't see myself. Okay, it's paused. I'm paused? That's crazy. I can see the same pause thing. The gremlins are in, guys. The gremlins are in. What can I do? What can I do? Okay. I know you can see. All right. I'll continue. You can still hear me. I'll continue. What was I saying now? I forgot. I lost my train of thought now. Oh, I'm back. Wicked. I'm back. Yeah, so if you allow yourself basically to be a victim of that kind of psychology, I was actually reading somebody's thing. He said, why would you attach yourself to a race? Now listen, I have to look at things objectively. I'm part of a group, okay? Now, I'm part of a group that has found itself at the bottom of the socio-economic ladder. I did not choose that. However, this is where I was born into, right? I didn't choose it. However, same thing with any group. If the group of Chinese people found themselves at the bottom of the socio-economic ladder, it is incumbent upon them to get themselves to the bottom of it. If the gay people found themselves at the bottom of the socio-economic ladder, it's incumbent upon them to get themselves, you know, out of it. If whoever, Indian, whoever, if a group of people, I just happen to be a part of a group of people, okay, who are on the bottom of the socio-economic ladder. If we lived in a utopia, maybe I wouldn't have to have this psychology. However, I've looked around, okay, and I said, you know what? Something needs to be done. I've looked around and said, something needs to be done. So, you know, I'm going to do it this way. Now, could I be wrong? I'm open to being wrong. But right now, this is a thing for me. And so, to find yourselves within a group that languishes here, I understand, sorry, that I don't want to be here, and I don't ever think one man is an island. I like to think within the group, African philosophy. And so yeah, it takes a village to raise a child. Put it, you know, like, use whatever, you know, cliche philosophy you want, but I'm part of a group, and so I think like a group. Now, not everyone within the group thinks of themselves as a group. Okay, I understand that. I understand that probably a lot of the people that want to go against me are probably look like me. I understand that too. So I understand, just because I'm part of this group, it doesn't mean that everybody within the group wants what's best for me. I understand that. I'm not stupid, okay? So you have black Muslims that don't like me. You have black Hebrew Israelites that don't like me, etc., etc. You have all kinds of people that don't like me who have black skin, right? And look like me, but they really hate me. I understand that. It's part of it, you know? So until somebody can give me a better option, I'm gonna roll with this one. What we saying? Raul the God, so I need to get in contact with you, bro. Hit me up on the Hangouts, bro. Hit me up on the Hangouts. I'm actually sweating in this car. Turn the aircon on, bro. Turn the aircon on. Yeah, so Digital Pit Boss and Sarah Garvey discussion. If you're interested, please contact Digital Pit Boss at... Nah, I don't know who Digital Pit Boss is. What he's about, I don't know that guy. I've said, if some guys on my Facebook now like, Sarah, you got to debate me, man. You got to debate me.